Good morning, and we're in November 17 through 23. Prepare ye for the coming of the Bridegroom. And it's Doctrine and Covenants 133, 134. So just two today. And we'll find that we're kind of going back in time a little bit to, I think, 1831, 1832 era. Let's just double check that just so we're aware. 1831, 1835. So right in there. And in 1833, mobs attacked and destroyed the church's printing press. Among the print jobs in progress at the time was the Book of Commandments, the church's first attempt to compile God's latter-day revelations into one volume. The mob scattered the unbound pages, and although courageous saints preserved them, only a few incomplete copies of the Book of Commandments are known to have survived. What we now know as Section 133 of the Doctrine and Covenants was meant to be an appendix to the Book of Commandments, like an exclamation point at the end of the Lord's published revelations. It warns of a coming day of judgment and repeats the call found through the modern revelation: flee worldliness as symbolized by Babylon, build Zion, prepare for the second coming, and spread this message. It sounds a little bit like what President Nelson has been saying for his whole time as president. Almost all of those, basically. And so I think it's important that we do that. So, and spread this message unto every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. The original plans for the Book of Commandments were not fulfilled, but this revelation is a reminder and a witness that the Lord's work will go forward, for he will make bare. I'm sorry about the yawning, but I do it more since I've been in hospital. I know it's been almost 2 months now, but it's still affecting me, or a month and a half, I guess. It's only been a month and a half. For he shall make bare his holy arm, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of their God. I think these are wonderful words, and these are things that we're going to be studying this week. Another thing that would be very helpful, I think, is to look at Section 1, because this is almost, I think Section 33 was probably written around close to the same time, and they're like bookends. You've got Section 1 that introduces the Doctrine and Covenants, and Section 33 that kind of closes the record, though we have some more that has been revealed and been put in here. This would have been at the end, as it was considered an appendix to the Book of Commandments at the time. And because of that, they've kept it where it is. So we've come up right close to when the death of the prophet, and then now we've gone back about 10 years, and have the appendices in there. And so I find this is going to be good to go over, and today we'll go into the ideas for learning during the week. I did want to mention that I didn't do too much last week on the ideas for learning, especially in section 32. But there is some really good resources there if you still need to want to follow up more on those, on the subjects there. Very good information in Come Follow Me, and also in the other resources that I've mentioned before. But we'll come in here. We'll probably mention a few things. As you see, sometimes one day we'll be doing 133 4 through 14, but then we'll come back and do 133 1 through 19. And so there's a lot of overlap, and I'm hoping that as I go through it that you'll see this. In fact, here it mentions that section 133, the original appendix of the Book of Commandments, began the same plea from the Lord. So it says both section 1 of the Lord's preface and to the Doctrine and Covenants and section 133, the appendix began the same plea from the Lord to hearken ye, O ye people of my church. So both of them is worth looking at, and I think we will very soon. So just thought I'd point that out, and we'll get into more of these, and I'll read some more of these things out, as I've said, and always watch these. I might make a comment about these videos, but you should watch them. And the last one for 122 is a Q&A, and it is a really good one. So it's worth going through. And then they've again come back in 33 through 56. This second coming of Christ will be joyful for the righteous. So then 134 is about governments. So when we go through all of this week, I will pull out things from this. I might not always go right into Come Follow Me, but I do read through them and pull out things and often put them straight into the scriptures we're reading. I find it more important to go right into the scriptures, but I often pull things out of this, and if you've watched very many of my videos, I'll sometimes go right into Come Follow Me. Other times I'll just take bits of it out and either put it straight in my scriptures or just mentioned it. So that is what we've got to look forward to. So I'm just going to finish today, and tomorrow we're going to get right into the scriptures, and look forward to reading again similar things as section 1. And I would suggest that you look at section 1 a little bit closer as well. And I'll see you tomorrow.